How's it going, YouTube? It is Docky or Docky Style Gaming, and in this video I'm going to be covering all of the questions that was asked last week after PAX through the AMAAA that Mike Gamble and Mark Darrow went on to talk about. Now this video is just going to be covering all of Mike Gamble's questions, and I threw in some John Warner questions as well because there is some bit of new information that came from him also. But my next video tomorrow is going to be all of the Mark Darrow related questions because they answered a bunch of questions and they actually answered quite a few of our channel questions. This video is going to have 4 questions that Mike Gamble covered, and tomorrow's video is going to have some questions that Mark Darrow himself also covered for us. So without further ado, let's get straight into all of this new news and info because this is going to be a pretty big video. So let's start off the questions with the 4 questions that Mike Gamble actually answered for all of us. Now these are all your questions, the subs that I asked on Twitter on the AMAAA, and out of all, I believe I got like 20 plus of them. I got about 5 of them answered. So I mean, not the best, but it's definitely pretty cool to have most of them or some of them answered. So the first one that was asked was about mouse and keyboard support for consoles, and Mike Gamble had to say on this subject, there's no plans for mouse and keyboard support right now. So could come later on in the future, but as of right now, no mouse and keyboard for controllers, which is weird because most console games are pushing towards that direction. So I thought it was kind of interesting that we're not going to get it right away, but again, it could come later on. The next question that was another sub question was asking if we could name our javelins, Pacific Rim style, like Gypsy Danger, things of that nature. And he did have to say no, but we can name our pilots. So that is something. And I also mentioned the pilot thing a little later as well. The next sub question that got answered was if we'd be able to join factions and about the Dominion skins or armor in the game, if we'd be able to obtain them. And Mike had to say not at this point, or pretty much at this point, no. So again, could happen later on, but currently that doesn't seem to be the case. Now this next question, he didn't really answer it, but he did give us a full complete answer on the full character customization in the game. So when asked about the different ethnicities for the Freelancer, again, he didn't give us an answer on the ethnicities, but he did give us the full customization of our Freelancers. He said we'd be able to choose between male or female, we'd be able to choose different voices, and we'd be able to choose different preset head options, which we kind of knew from the PAX panel itself. So again, he didn't really say anything on the ethnicities, and again, it kind of doesn't matter too much to me because I don't feel like we're going to be seeing our Freelancers too much because we'll be in our Javelins and everything's first person in the Fort Tarsus and our Strider. So again, it doesn't bother me too much, but that was a question that a sub did ask, and again, he didn't really answer it, but he did give us another answer that was just as good. Now that we got all the sub questions out the way, let's start getting into some new information that was asked. So when asked why there is no PvP in Anthem, Mike went on to say they wanted to create a game that was optimized for PvE. They said it allows them to create fantastic weapons that don't need to be balanced for competitive play, which again was something that I actually mentioned on why I don't want there to be PvP in Anthem, and clearly that's their same reason too. So glad that that's one of the main reasons why. And again, I'll cover that a little later too because there's another issue that ties into the not having PvP in Anthem and why it benefits Anthem. Now this question I believe was asked by a sub a while ago, but was answered as well, and I think I've covered this before, but they asked if you play solo, would we have AI teammates out in the world? And he did say no AI teammates out in the world at launch for solo play. So if you want to have other people playing with you, either have your matchmaking open to public and have people join up on you, or play with friends, because if you're solo, you will be running your missions solo. No AI javelins. Now this next question was pretty interesting. They asked if there would be a particular boss that would constantly pop up throughout the story, and Mike did go on to confirm that yes, there will be, and he did say that his name starts with Monito. So again, it could be Monitor or a monitor, who knows, but I thought it was pretty interesting that he kind of gave us a tease, and he did say that it is a him, so it is a male character or boss that will constantly pop up throughout the story. So I thought that was a pretty cool little tidbit that he gave us. The next question was again another pretty interesting question. When asked if we'd be able to go to other settlements in Anthem, and he had to say on this subject, Strider and Tarsus will be the main focus ... for launch. So it seems like they possibly are planning something, whether it be with the new DLC that we'll be able to go to other settlements, or maybe we'll unlock or find out about new settlements in Anthem. I remember looking at the E3 2018 gameplay trailer when they showed the map. There's actually a place called the Fortress of Dawn. So that could be a settlement, or that could just be a place where the original Legion of Dawn resides resided at. So who knows, but I thought that was pretty interesting that he at least kind of teased that there's potentially more settlements out there that we'll be able to visit post-launch. Now this next question I've covered before, but I wanted to address it again. Anthem is a fully online game, meaning if you want to play it, you will need Xbox Live or PlayStation Plus. So there you go. Like I said, that was just a quick one. The next question that I thought was pretty funny, and you know I have to throw it in here, but when asked what is the best Javelin and why is it the Interceptor, you already know that Mike had to make the correction, and he did. He said false, it's the Storm. So that's official confirmation from the dev himself that the Storm is the best Javelin in Anthem. So Storm Master Race all day. I'm kidding guys, rep your own Javs, do what you want to do, but definitely seems like Storm's going to be the best Javelin in the game. Anyways, the next question that was asked was another Storm related question, and was asked, can you tell us anything about the Storm? And all Mike had to say was, 1, it's awesome, and 2, you can hover forever. So again, just another Storm question for all you Storm Master Race fans out there. The next question was pretty interesting, and I think a lot of people are going to like this one. When asked about healing and support roles, and if there would be gear that would let you play such a role, Mike did actually say yes. He said you can focus on buff and debuff gear pieces. So I thought that was pretty cool, because I know there are a lot of people that like to play their support type characters or their healing, things of that nature. So I thought that was pretty interesting that there will be gear that you could get in game that'll let you play the role that you want to play, and just adds a bit more to the customization in Anthem. Now this next bit of information is a bit of sad news on the cross save front, but it was to be expected. Now when asked when he said not at launch for cross save, is it still possible? Now Mike did say that maybe, but I doubt it. So it doesn't look too likely that it's going to be the case. So it means you won't be able to play your PlayStation save on your PC or your PC save on your Xbox. Again, it's to be expected because most games actually don't do that, but it would have been pretty nice to see Anthem try and do that, so that when I play with all of you guys, I could just have my same save from all of my different platforms, and I don't have to worry about re-leveling up Javelins or unlocking new things and gear, things of that nature on each single platform. But again, to be expected, most games don't do that. Next question I was asked was a pretty good one, and I know I've covered this before, but I still wanted to put this in here. They asked, is there a limit to how many masterwork gear, weapon, or attachments we can have on at the same time? And Mike did say not currently, and then he followed it up by saying PvE allows them to do this. Similar to how Destiny you can only have one exotic armor on or one exotic weapon on, well in Anthem you'll be able to rock essentially all exotic armor and all exotic weapons if you really want to. And again, because this is a PvE game, like Mike said, it allows them to do that. If there was PvP in it, they'd have to completely balance that out, because that would be pretty overpowered in a competitive setting. So again, another reason to love that this game is PvE only and not PvP. But again, that's just me. Now these next questions are pretty simple and straightforward, so I'm going to run through them pretty fast. So when asked about the voice cast and if we would find out anything about them later on, he did have to say that more on the rest of the voice cast soon. And then the next question was about the freelancers and if we'd be called by our names in Fort Tarsus, and he did go on to say that NPCs will call you freelancers, not by our custom names, similar to how Mass Effect the characters all call you by your last name. Next question was something I covered before, but I wanted to reiterate it. They said that there is no friendly fire in Anthem, and then on the demo side of things, they did go on to say again that this is a demo, it's not a beta, and it's not an alpha, and I will touch on that again when I get to the John Warner questions. And then the last thing from these quick questions that was asked was about the smell of a fresh Javelin, and he actually answered this. They asked him what does a fresh Javelin smell like, and according to Mike Gamble, it smells like baby powder. So if you guys were all wondering what it smells like, that's what it smells like. So go find you some baby powder, roll your faces in it, and then boom, you smell it. Okay guys, don't do that. Please don't roll your faces in baby powder. That's the worst thing you could possibly do. Anyways, the next question that was talked about was what will be the biggest boss that we will encounter in Anthem, and Mike did say that it is about the size of a Titan, and we've seen how big these Titans get, so that's pretty cool, and I'm happy to hear that. Next question was something that I know I got asked on the channel as well, but they were asking about controller customization layouts, or if there would be multiple layout options in the game, and according to Mike, yes, there will be, so you can preset or set up your controller however you want to play. It'll fit your play style, and again, I know a lot of people are asking for that, so I'm pretty sure they're all happy to hear that. So next question was again a pretty cool question about customization. So when asked if we'd be able to customize our Javelins outside of just colors, Mike did say that yes, you can customize your wraps, your textures, your armor, pieces, and more. So definitely seems like there's going to be a lot of customization for our Javelins, and I myself cannot wait. And now to the last two Mike Gamble questions. One was asking if there would be gear that would have like faster knockdown recovery or things of that nature, and Mike did go on to say that yes, gear will have an impact on some of these things, but more later. So again, they're probably just not ready to talk about it right now. Now this last thing that Mike Gamble was asked was about passives for our freelancers. Now I'm pretty sure I've covered this before, but I wanted to address it here because even John Warner addresses it in one of the questions I'll get to later. But they asked if there would be passives for our freelancers and pilots, and apparently according to Mike, gear and pilot skills will play a factor in this. So that's pretty cool. If you guys play Warframe, you know all Warframes have some type of passive ability that makes them unique to each other. So I'm pretty happy to hear that, and I think that's a pretty cool addition to the game. Now before I get into the John Warner questions, there was a pretty cool update that was posted on Anthem's Twitter, and they did say that new Anthem updates will be coming in the next few weeks on their official Twitter page. So definitely stay tuned to the channel for that, because whenever we get any new news updates, I will be bringing them to the channel as soon as possible. So again, stay tuned to that. So now to the John Warner related questions. So the first question that was asked to John Warner was about the challenges and difficulty in Anthem. They asked if we have all of our top weapons and top gear in the game, would there be a harder difficulty for us to have more challenges in the game? And John Warner did go on to say that yes, there is a difficulty setting for harder challenges. That's why it's implemented in the game, and we've kind of seen that in some of the gameplay trailer and footage as well, that everything that we've seen them run it on so far has been normal. We don't know how many difficulty tiers there are, but clearly you can change your difficulty if you want to for more of a challenge if you think you can really handle that level. Now this one he really didn't answer, but I'm glad somebody showed him the image of this, because I really haven't seen anybody talk about it outside of my video when I mentioned that there were junker type scrapper ranger javelins. So they asked him if there was any words on these javelins, and John Warner was just like, no, clearly they're not ready to talk about them, and we don't know what faction they belong to. Though if we watch the trailer, it looks like Halleck and Faye are talking to the agent or maybe the faction leader of those scrapper type junker ranger javelins. So I guess we'll find out a little later on down the line or at the release of the game. Now this next question ties in to the demo question that was asked to Mike. Now this was just John Warner again confirming that this is a demo. It's not a beta, it's not an alpha, that the demo is of the full game and is essentially a way for us to play it a bit early. So it's pretty cool that we will be playing again essentially the game itself on February 1st, a month before it actually drops. So I'm pretty sure they'll cut out some content so we don't spoil it for ourselves, but being able to mess around with all the javelins, have a bit more freedom just to kind of mess around, and plus it'll be pretty cool to get some more content and footage for the channel. So I'm really looking forward to that, and I'm glad to hear it's a demo and not a beta or an alpha. This next question also ties into another question that was asked to Mike, but it was John Warner confirming that yes, there is a passive skill system in the game. So when asked about it, he did just go on to confirm that there is going to be some type of passive skill system implemented in Anthem. So again, super happy to hear about that. Now another thing that I was extremely happy to hear about, so when asked will we be seeing some Elder Game content up next, now that we got a lot of the story focused stuff out of the way, John Warner did say probably so with the winky face. So for all the stuff that we've been getting from packs, all of the new panels, everything that they showed off on their Anthem websites, there's been a lot of story and lore related stuff. So it's pretty cool to hear that the next type of information that we'll be getting is in-game information. So hopefully some new information on raids, strongholds, hopefully even some customization, how gear is going to work, things of that nature. So I'm pretty happy to hear that now that we got most of our packs information out the way, we'll be getting some true in-game information coming pretty soon. And speaking of gaming events, when asked if Anthem will have a presence at the Tokyo Game Show, John did go on to say he's not sure yet, and he'll let us know as soon as he knows. Now personally, I don't think it's likely that Anthem will be there, but I could see them, possibly. I know Destiny had their huge, big Japanese marketing campaign, so I could see Anthem potentially doing that as well, but to me it just seems kind of unlikely. Now outside of the Tokyo Game Show, there are other gaming events that are coming up that Anthem could potentially make an appearance at. One is the Game Awards, which I believe happens in December, and then the second one that is more likely is PAX South, which takes place in San Antonio, Texas, January 18th through the 20th, and considering BioWare Studios is about an hour away from San Antonio, it'd be pretty safe to assume that Anthem is definitely going to have a presence at the PAX South event. Plus, it's about a month away from release, so again, to build up hype and to show off some new content that might get players who were still kind of wavering on the fences of the game, get them hype for it. So again, there's no real confirmation yet, but it is a couple months away. Either way, I will be in attendance at PAX South. Most people who watch my streams know I was born and raised in Houston, Texas. My whole family lives in Houston. I think I'm the only person in my family that doesn't still live in Texas, but I thought I'd go up there, kill two birds, one stone, go on a mini vacation, visit my family, and attend PAX South. So definitely expect coverage from there on my channel when PAX South actually hits. Hopefully we get some new Anthem content and I could cover it on the channel for you all. So that's all I got for this video, guys. Thanks for watching. Sorry that it was a pretty long one this time. I know this is about a week's worth of information that I've been behind on, but tomorrow's video is even going to be more info from Mark Derrick, because this man does not stop answering questions and we all love him for it. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Thanks for the subs. Thanks for the love. Peace.